Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Do go check out all my other videos that I've got. So today I'm going to talk about fussy eating and what it means for us as mums, particularly. So I've got 4 tips for you to keep me on track. First one is to remember that if you have a fussy eater, and you might have many in your family, they could all be fussy in certain degrees. This is asking you to flip it from pathologizing it to look at intuitive eating. Generally, children who are fussy eaters are sensitive, highly sensitive, and they are connected to self. They don't want to eat that food that is not right on the money for what their body needs physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. That's the biggest thing I can't say enough, is remember that your child's intuition trumps what we think we know best as mothers. Particularly when we have been conditioned with so much stuff on what eating should be without realizing you're probably carrying stuff now. If you have a fussy eater, because that's the point of them coming through, to bring this up for you, particularly as a mother, to start to really open your eyes wide to go, okay, if they eat Cocoa Pops all day long, what's going to be the difference for them as far as their physical health, but also their emotional, mental, and spiritual health, and the family harmony, and your harmony, and your inner peace, and your connection as a mum, your heart connection with your child. So definitely do remember, it's important to remember that when anyone rejects a food, there's something to be looked at. Of course, we can take it personally as mums. I've shopped, I've cooked, I've made this for you, I thought you liked it, you told me you did, all of that stuff. But the first thing to remember is we are changing all day long, every day, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And at certain points, you may not feel like that. And there's many reasons why. I'll just use a quick example. We had a smoothie that I made the boys. It was a nice, beautiful, healthy smoothie every morning for years. But then one of my boys, Decky, decided, nah, I don't want it. I don't want it. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, this is so nutritious and it's easy and it's good. And come on, you've been having it for years. And it took us to going to a kinesiologist about other things. And she brought up the fact he's sensitive to oranges. It's not good for his tummy with his sensitive tummy. I was like, oh my gosh, we have an orange and smoothie. Straight away, I'm like, okay, yeah, right. There was my mama knows best and my rigidity in what I was serving. So that's the first thing, is honor your children as intuitive, wise beings. You don't want to stuff up that connection to self by what we might have had or your parents have had. Sorry, you need to eat it anyway. Override your intuition talking, eat it anyway. They're bringing up a beautiful topic here to start to look at. What do our bodies actually want at any point in any day? And to get over the fact of perfect eating, what we think we know is best, and actually what might be good for us, even as I say, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. So I'm going to move on to the next tip. The next one is to remember heart connection is priority as we go the new way. And you can tell me it doesn't matter to you, but most mums who work with me go, oh yeah, that is my priority. And I'm losing heart connection quick smart. The more I try and push foods onto my child, the more I'm not listening to them, the more I'm not exploring this topic of intuitive eating / fussy eating. So that's the biggest one, is heart connection always starts with, I'm trying to get onto your page instead of I'm going against you. No, you got to eat it. No, I'll bribe you. No, no, no. I'm not hearing you, as opposed to getting onto your child's page to go, wow, okay, I wonder why your body doesn't want that. Wow, you're surprising me. You're saying no to all these different foods. Wonder what your body does want, and starting to get onto their page of what they feel like, and to see if that intuitive connection can keep on talking to tell you, well, these are the things that I want. They're going to be answers you probably don't want to hear, like my son will say when I'm like, what else do you feel like? Ice cream. But what else do you feel like? I'm not listening to him, but there is truth in the ice cream. There's so much comfort for him, let alone putting out heat in his body and a whole lot of different things. It could even be that he needs to have it to get a cold and get mucus because he needs to clear stuff out of him. So it's looking super duper wide open and really trying to understand your child. And to do that, you have to have heart connection with yourself. So heart connection with your child is priority, but first it starts with heart connection with yourself. You have to let up frustration. I'm so angry. I'm sick of this. I'm feeling guilty, all of those things. You actually do have to sit with that and practice letting your emotions come up, so you are without the charge. Because when you bring the charge to the mealtime prep, to the dinner table, you are going to attract, and we do this in my courses and mentorships, your actors, these, your child or your partner, whoever, to start resisting the food to make you feel frustrated, to make you feel angry, to make you feel irritated, to make you just be, I can't do this anymore. You're supposed to be put into those places to crack open to let this stuff come up. So allow yourself to have heart for yourself. No more judging of emotions. There's so many mums like, oh no, but that wouldn't be right, or I'm victim and all of that. No way. You have to give heart to yourself to go, this is a hard task, to have the inclination as a mother, strong drive to feed my child, to nourish my child. And then my child saying no and making me work hard for this, making me strip off cloaks of ego of what I think that they need, and actually meeting them with what their intuition is telling me. So have heart for yourself. When you've let off this charge, you have a lot more heart, and it's much easier to have heart for your child and be flexible and be listening than when you have a lot of anger and all the stuff that rightly so will build up. I cannot say enough. You can't skip over it, or you're shoving it down and you're hurting your own physical body, emotional, mental, and spiritual. If you're shoving it down and trying to, okay, I'm on your side, it's fake. Your child knows it, and they will keep on prodding you until you let it come up. So point 3 is communication. Now, this is the point, is once you've let the charge up, it's much more easy to be open to asking your child questions and actually working with your wise being child here to say, what does your body feel like? Why are you rejecting, let's just say, I don't know, something soggy? See if they can put anything into words. I will say a lot of children who are sensing, they're not wordy children. You basically either sensing or wordy. So the sensing children are typically the ones that are quite connected to their senses. And so they may not be able to put it into words. But the biggest thing is to actually start to ask your child, what do you feel like? And yes, that does open some Pandora's box as far as, are you going to make me buy all this stuff, but I don't want my other child having that, or that's going to make me way too much work in the kitchen. That's the point of this back and forth with mother and child teamwork, which we do in the nth degree in, let's say, the New Woman embodiment 6-month journey that I do, to check in with your own intuition about it, and then also to value your child's own intuition, and you eventually come to what wants to be. And that's a process. It's not an overnight, but the first thing is to remember how much you're asking your child, what do they feel like, and what does their physical body want? Also, what do they want emotionally to make them feel nice? Is there anything else that they are craving? That's where you start. Now, as you talk and talk and talk about this heaps more, your child is landing you in the scenes to talk about this a whole lot more, where all of a sudden you can start to hear yourself go, I feel like that too. Oh my gosh, I used to have that when I was a child and I loved it. That's the point, is it's then inviting you into the topic of intuitive eating to start to question, am I actually in touch with myself enough, or am I just eating out of rut, or what's ever easiest, or whatever else you get to as a mum? It's important to start to listen to this, because it's going to bring you health, it's going to bring you connection to self, it's going to bring you compassion for your child who's jumping up and down saying these foods don't serve me, and they don't either for you either, mum. And then look at brother or dad. That's why dad's rejecting half this stuff. It's actually not for him. You're taking it personally and getting charged at him. It really brings up this topic to really everyone get excited as a team to start getting to know yourself and start to really eat more intuitively. Fourth top point and last point is then this point that I've already started talking about, self-reflection. You have to be watching yourself as you go out and serve the food, as you go out and buy stuff. Oh no, I'll just sneak it in, or oh no, here it is, and no, but you need to eat it, and really watching your charge, or really hearing your monkey mind talking, going, no, they'll eat this. No, I'm sure they will. I'm going to make sure they do. I'll bribe them. All of that ego stuff, that ego monkey mind talk in your head, especially if you're trying to hide stuff on your child, it's not on, because it's fake. It's not truth. It's not honoring your child has a connection to self and their own unique path of what they need in many unique ways. We have to get this cloak of mama knows best off. I've been taught these great tricks of, like hiding zucchini and scones or whatever it is. The point being is, if your child said that they don't like zucchini, it is, I think I know best and I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm completely disrespecting you and your unique soul path. And they will come back with disrespecting behaviors back at you, like a slap in the face. And we wonder why our children don't respect us. It's because we're doing these types of things that aren't respecting their unique path. So a lot of buts, hang on, what? I can hear, because most mums like, but then what about nutrition? And what about my child getting sick? Yes, that's a massive, big conversation to keep on having. It will die down as you let up your emotions about, I don't want to do this, or oh my gosh, I'm so frustrated. Here we go again at the dinner table. As you let this stuff come up, you can then feel more peaceful. And then you hear this to go, yes, I do want to respect my child's soul path. I do want to value our heart connection as priority. I don't want to disrespect them. Then it's to come back and make peace with all these buts and the and all of that inner chaos that we've got. That's the stuff that needs to go first. So allow these scenes at the dinner table, wherever it happens with lunch boxes and whatnot, to prod you. That is the point. That's essentially the first point. You are it. Let this stuff prod you so you can get rid of old conditioning. Then you can meet your child. Then you both can go forward as a better team, listening to each other. And I'm not saying it's an easy, direct, perfect line. Once that happens, it's back and forth. No, now you're eating even less and I'm worried. I can see you getting skinny. Oh my gosh, you've got eczema. You're so sick. We have played it out all here in this family. And every time it comes back to, why is this tapping at me? What are my feelings here? And when I let that stuff come up and I deliver it back to my child, then we go forth. And they may still go, no, I don't want it. And I realize that's my own bullshit to deal with. And that's their path. If they've got to get skinny, they've got to get sick and whatnot. Let them have those consequences, because you can't stop it. If you're trying to stop it here when they're young, it's going to happen if they're going to play out those paths. You're just prolonging the inevitable, and then they're out of your nest when it does happen. So I hope that's helped. Please do ask any questions. Let me know any topics. Do share this with anyone. Please get the message out, because there's so much going around of, especially the sneaking foods in to people's diets. I should say my background is as a speech pathologist. I did this in my government job as far as fussy eating specializing. Then I went out with my first business as the Healthy Caterpillar and coached mums for a couple of years really around fussy eating. That was my bread and butter, particularly with these sensitive children, until I started to realize that was my first time, oh my gosh, the mother-child link. If mum's stressed, if she doubts that her child will, be okay, she's going to sabotage it. She's going to get in there and create these scenes, not intentionally, but to let her frustration come up and to have all the huffs and get angry and be against her child. So I hope this has helped, and see you all later. Bye.